my little speech for today, the draft took a few twists and turns and do's and redos. The fact is, I can say all kinds of funny but embarrassing things about my daughter here. Make her squirm and blush, but I'm not going to do that because paybacks can be healthy. She can really unload on me. It gets worse, Andy. Also, preparing this little speech, I also prepared for the actual ceremony. I thought I had this one great little line. I practiced it over and over. The line that I'm sure you've heard, I've heard 1,000 times in real weddings and movie weddings for years and years, and that's when the father presents his daughter to the groom, and the father is asked to give their daughter in matrimony, or who gives their daughter in matrimony, and the father replies, her mother and I do. Her mother and I do, her mother and I do. But last night, and I forced the line in the rehearsal because I thought the other father, the one with the collar, had forgotten my prompt. I was kindly told that such a response was not part of the service. I was told later that her mother and I line is part of the Protestant service. And seeing as the wedding was taking place in the Catholic Church, Mom was the word for Daddy. All my hard work and practice was to go to waste. So please, hear me one more time as I say this. Her mother and I do. All right, I thought I'd be relaxed by now, but I'm not. But I do feel much better having gotten that her mother and I do thing off. So anyway, a true heartfelt welcome to everyone here for traveling countless miles and enduring multiple phases in relationship that is known as the Angela and Max relationship. It's actually been just shy of 7 years since the making, and the day's finally arrived. I'm glad each and every one of you joined us in our celebration. 7 years, guys. 7. Angela's mother and I dated for 4 years, 2 in college, 2 out of college, just to make sure that our relationship would translate successfully into the real world, and it did. And I know there's no real magic number for how long a couple should know one another before planning on a marriage, but I thought 4 was plenty. But since Angela's arrival in our lives, there's one thing I knew. If I do something, she's probably going to outdo it. In discussing the length of the courtship with my dear friend and frat brother, Paul Sprunk, he's at the Animal House table over there somewhere. They're back there. Raise your hand, guys. Frat brothers, there you go. Stay away from them, they're trouble. I kept hounding Paul about taking his time when he was dating his future bride, and I harped on and on about my 4-year courtship, and Paul says, so what makes it so great about dating 4 years prior to marriage? And I replied, no surprises, Paul. And in typical Paul Sprunk fashion, he fired back, okay, what's the worst part about dating for 4 years before marriage? And I replied, Paul, that's easy. No surprises. Based on that analogy, there's certainly going to be no surprises with Angela and Max. And as Pat Labrada, Max's father, conveyed last night at the rehearsal dinner, Angela and Max have been together for so long that we've all become family. And that happened some time ago. It's nothing like making it official. Let's have some applause for that. Yeah. So after about 2 years, it became pretty evident these guys were probably going to tie the knot. The only question was when and where. When I did the mental evaluation, I just kept saying to myself, there's no myself there. Maybe I've got a typo here. Hey, Wayne, can you help me out? When I did the mental evaluation, I kept saying to myself that why in the world, there you go, would anyone move to Northern Virginia or any other such damn place from Key West? I mean, here's one of the most beautiful places in the entire United States. Traveled to people from all over the world with blue, green, clear water and palm trees and sunshines and Jimmy friggin' Bucket. Well, I knew Angela was going to be the one to move there. And plus, Max has a boat. Angela got the work transferred to the Keys. Max came to take my little girl away, but we still had her dog, Yogi. So I clung on to that piece of Angela's life until Max comes back and takes the dog away. Before Max and Angela and Yogi pulled out of Chantilly to head 18 hours south to the most southern point of the continental USA, like he could take her any further. He does have a boat. I gave Max a little fatherly advice. I said, Max, Angela's a strong young woman. She knows what she wants, and she can take care of herself. I trust you completely with her, but you better not screw up with that dog. And I will be getting report cards on that. So they moved away, and then the waiting phase began. When is Max going to pop the question? And just when I thought the time was right, Michael gets engaged. Angela's not liking this part. Be kind at my funeral. But before the dust settled, guess what? Maddie gets engaged. And poor Max, who was the first of the siblings, takes the back seat to the younger age group. And we get to wait some more. In December 2012, on Christmas Day, I'm the first one up preparing my traditional Christmas ham and eggs, and Max comes to join me, and I got this feeling. But I've had it before, so I just try to stay cool. Max looks at me a couple times, and I see his shoulders drop, and he just casts his eyes down the floor, and I'm thinking, okay, baby, here it comes. But it doesn't. I started thinking, okay, maybe it's making me today after all. So I turned my attention back to prepping the breakfast, and a few seconds later, when I turn around, Max is standing there looking at me right in the eye, trying to look brave, and Max says, Rob, I need to ask you a question. I step towards Mac and hug him and say yes. This is true. Very, very true. Right, Max? I got it. I didn't let him ask me the question. I then turned the tables and I said, I have a question for you. Do you really love her? And Max replied immediately, absolutely. And my response to Max was, yeah, you think you love her. Just as I thought I loved Barbara when we were married. But I realized 20 or 30 years later, at that point in our relationship, I just really, really liked her a lot. And when you, Max, can look back on 20 or 30 years together, then you'll know what true love is. You will realize how your children and your family experiences have turned this very strong light into love. 17 years ago, okay. 17 years ago, shortly after I turned 40 years old myself, I was over at my dear friend's house, Wayne and Mary Klotz. They're at the Animal House table too. And I was speaking to Mary's father, Ryland, who was probably 70 then, of how old I felt being 40. He said, Rob, being 40 is snot-nosed, you know what I mean? And he continues and he says, Rob, I've been married for over 40 years. So now it's my turn to take the initiative. I said, Ryland, what's the secret of being married for 40 years? And Ryland says, first, you find a good one, and then you keep your damn mouth shut. Ryland, I hope you're listening to me right now because I know you're spot on, and I got the first part right for sure. I found a good one. But that second part, I keep my mouth shut. I'm sorry, Ryland, I just couldn't pull that off. But my bride loved me anyway, and she was truly the love force in my marriage and my family. She not only deserves a great Mother's Day tomorrow, this woman, my wife, deserves a medal. Barbara, I liked you a lot way back. Today, I truly, truly love you. Hang in there, we're almost over. In closing, my favorite Mark Twain lines as it drips of sarcasm at the same time as very insightful. And I quote, "It is amazing what my father learned when I was growing up." It's how the young minds don't see much wisdom in their parents and their parents' ways, but in the reality, as we all grow and mature in life, we may just realize that all that advice and sometimes the criticisms does come from life experience. Mom and dad were doing the best they could, and eventually the child becomes the parent, and they see things more eye to eye. So thank you once again for